the worries far away. I feel my shoulders softening as they lay. All the things I thought I had to be are resting now so quietly with me. My gentle tomorrow waits for me with open hands and no demands. It doesn't ask me to be strong or right. It only whispers, "You're enough tonight." I've carried heavy things for far too long. Tonight I set them down where they belong. My heart is tired in the kindest way, and love is letting it rest here and stay. My gentle tomorrow waits for me with open hands and no demands. It doesn't ask me to be strong or right. It only whispers, "You're enough tonight." And I can feel it holding me so near, like a mother's voice I haven't heard in years. My gentle tomorrow waits for me with all the patience that I need. No rush, no worry, nothing left to prove. Just this warm and quiet truth: I am loved, I am enough tonight. The world outside is gone to sleep, and I am here with all I couldn't keep. My tired heart is beating soft and low, like it finally found a place to go. Hold me like this, just like this, with no conditions, no need to fix. Let your warmth surround the parts of me that never felt safe enough to be. such a long, long time. Tonight I'm letting go of that old line. My shoulders drop, my breathing starts to ease, and something kind is moving through me. Hold me like this, just like this, with no conditions, no need to fix. Let your warmth surround the parts of me that never felt safe enough to be. No words are needed, no story to tell. Just stay right here and hold me well. Hold me like this, just like this. Let every broken thing find rest. I am safe, I am seen, I am blessed. Hold me like this, and let me rest. For a long time, everything felt far away from me. People talking, music playing, whole days passing without reaching me fully. I moved through afternoons like I was standing behind glass somewhere, watching life continue without knowing how to step back inside it. But the world feels closer again, in small, ordinary ways. I notice warmth in familiar voices. I hear songs staying with me afterward. I stay present longer in conversations now, instead of drifting somewhere distant halfway through. And somehow that feels bigger than I can explain. There are still moments where loneliness reaches me unexpectedly. Still evenings my thoughts grow heavy without warning first. But I no longer disappear so quickly. The feeling moves through differently now, like cold wind passing through open trees, without stripping every branch bare. Yes, the world feels closer again, not brighter, not perfect, just easier to remain inside. And every piece of grief within me feels softer when it returns, like distant headlights fading gradually. But maybe it begins here, the moment life stops feeling so far away from you. The world feels closer again. The ache still reaches me certain nights, but it no longer separates me from everything still quietly alive around me. And tonight, for once, I let myself stay fully inside the moment, without needing to escape ahead of it. Softly, the world came back into focus, and I stayed long enough to feel it. Kept the hurt in quiet places where it would not ask for more. Thought if I could hold it still enough, it might not reach my core. Then a warmer shade came through me, like a promise without sound, not to take away the sorrow, just to lay some mercy down. When marigold returns, it doesn't rush the dark, it lays a gentle fire along the sleeping heart. Line by line it mends what sorrow could not move. When marigold returns, I return too. I can feel the weight grow lighter, not all gone, but less than before. What once lived inside the silence doesn't rule me anymore. There is peace inside the slowing, there is grace in being true, there is love that keeps on finding every tender part of you. If the old ache comes tomorrow, I will meet it without shame. I have learned that softer living does not make me any less brave. When marigold returns, it comes in steady light, it warms the hidden places that stayed cold through every When marigold returns, it blooms inside my heart. I was trying to be stronger than a heart was meant to be, holding every tender fracture like it could not live in me. Then a quieter kind of mercy laid its hand on all that strain, not to take away the feeling, just to make it soft again. Soft enough to stay, soft enough to heal, soft enough to let the broken say exactly what they feel. I don't have to turn away, I don't have to be afraid. Love can find me where I am, soft enough to stay. Now the ache is less a shadow, more a truth I understand. It can pass without undoing everything I am. And the peace is not a wonder, falling fast and calling loud. It's a slow and steady kindness settling through me now. If tomorrow brings the old weight, I will meet it, I will breathe. I have learned that gentle things can be stronger than the grief. Soft enough to stay, soft enough to mend, soft enough to hold the silence till it opens up again. I don't need to rush the light, I don't need to chase the end. Love can find me where I am, soft enough to stay. Stay with me now, soft enough to heal. Soft enough to stay. You don't have to carry what was never yours to keep. You can let it leave now, slow as falling into sleep. Take the weight off gently, let it loosen, let it go. There is nothing here to prove. You can move your heart more slow. Rest, my quiet one, rest here with me. Let your tired heart fall back into peace. Long as you need, slow as a prayer. Rest, my quiet one, I will meet you there. I can hear the shaking in the words you never say. You don't have to name it, you can let it fade away. Every little silence brings you closer to your own, not by holding tighter, just by learning to let go. If the tears come easy, let them come and leave. Healing has a soft voice, but it knows just what you need. Rest, my quiet one, rest here with me. Let your tired heart fall back into peace. Long as you need, slow as a song. Rest, my quiet one, you were safe all along. Rest, my quiet one. Let go now. I spent years trying to seem unaffected, laughing things off before they could touch me, swallowing hurt quietly before anyone else could notice it first. Like tenderness was something inconvenient, like feeling deeply made me harder to love. So I learned to soften my reactions before they could take up space around other people. But I don't apologize for feeling things anymore. Not for caring deeply, not for remembering small changes, not for the way certain words stay with me long after they're spoken. And somehow that changed the way I move through the world. Like my heart finally stopped shrinking itself to make other people comfortable. There are still moments I replay conversations too many times, still evenings I grow quiet suddenly after something hurts more than I expected. But I no longer turn against myself for it. I let the feeling exist without shame now. The sadness still reaches me sometimes, but it no longer makes me feel weak for having a heart. No, I don't apologize for feeling things anymore. every piece of grief inside me feels quieter when it returns now, like soft porch lights glowing faintly at the edge of sleeping neighborhoods. I thought healing meant becoming less sensitive, but maybe healing begins here. The moment you stop treating your softness like something that needs to be corrected. I don't apologize for feeling things anymore. The ache still reaches me certain nights, but it no longer fills me with shame for being moved by this life so deeply. And tonight, for once, I let my heart respond exactly as it wants to, without trying to quiet it halfway through. Softly, my heart remained open, even after being hurt. A distant bell rings soft inside my chest, calling me back to where I can rest. It doesn't shout, it doesn't demand, just gently pulls me by the hand. This is the bell that calls me home through every storm I've ever known. Its sound is quiet, its touch is kind, it brings me peace I cannot find. I've walked through fire, I've walked through rain, carried sorrow, carried shame, but every time I lose my light, this bell still rings soft through the night. This is the bell that calls me home through every storm I've ever known. Its sound is quiet, its touch is kind, it brings me peace I cannot find. And when the world grows loud and cold, I close my eyes and let it toll. inside my soul. This bell brings me home. The clock has forgotten how to count. Everything is softer now, laid down. I speak so low, the shadows barely hear. Just me and all the feelings I hold dear. Almost asleep, but not quite there. Floating somewhere between awake and prayer. No need to fix a single thing tonight. I let the dark hold me till morning light. I ask my heart the gentlest kind of questions. Does it hurt? Does it need some more attention? She answers back with one slow, quiet breath. That's all we need, no more and nothing less. Almost asleep, but not quite there. Floating somewhere between awake and prayer. No need to fix a single thing tonight. I let the dark hold me till morning light. And if sleep still keeps its distance for a while, I'll stay right here and wear this gentle smile. Almost asleep, my sweetest place. Nothing left to win, nothing left to chase. Just this moment, soft and kind, almost asleep. And I don't mind. I was carrying the silence like a stone beneath my skin. Every tender thought grew heavy. Every light was wearing thin. Then a softer shade came over, not to take the hurt away, just to lay a little comfort on the places it had stayed. Lilac in the hollow, soft and slow, a quiet cat I don't need a sudden answer. I don't need the whole sky clear. There is mercy in the waiting. There is peace arriving here. What was bruised begins to open. What was fearful starts to trust. Love can move in muted colors and still be strong enough. If the old ache finds me later, I won't meet it with a fight. I have learned that gentle courage can outlast a harder night. Lilac in the hollow, warm and true. Every fragile part of living finds a softer way through. Lilac in the hollow, still and bright, holding all my broken edges in a kinder light. I was all blue, all pulled low, quiet hurt, moving slow. Then a soft change came through me, warm and small, like mercy. Blue turns honey when love stays, soft and steady through the gray. Blue turns honey drop by drop. What was bitter lifts and stops. I don't rush, I don't run. I let peace come undone. In my chest, in my skin, light comes back, very thin. If the old ache calls me near, I breathe once, it clears. There is strength in going slow. There is grace in letting go. Turns honey, now I know. Healing moves soft and low. gets me through. Some nights my heart still startles easily. It changes too small to explain. A slower reply, a softer goodbye, a pause that lasts slightly too long. And before I can reason with it, my body remembers older fears, like certain wounds still wait quietly at the smallest shift in the air. But I don't disappear into it the same way anymore. I let the feeling move through slowly, without turning every fear into proof that loss is already coming. And somehow that softens something deep inside me, like my nervous system finally learning. Not every silence carries abandonment inside it. There are still evenings where my thoughts wander farther than I want them to. Still moments I rewrite ordinary sentences, looking for distance hidden underneath them. But I return sooner now. I don't stay trapped inside the spiral for hours. The loneliness still brushes against me, but it no longer darkens the whole landscape around me. No, I don't disappear into it the same way anymore. The fear still rises unexpectedly, but it no longer decides what the rest of the night becomes. And every piece of grief inside me feels quieter beneath my skin now, like telephone wires humming softly across empty farmland after midnight. I thought healing meant never feeling afraid again, but maybe healing begins here. The moment fear arrives and your body no longer mistakes it for the end. Some nights my heart still startles easily. The ache still reaches me without warning, but it no longer convinces me that every beautiful thing is slipping away. And tonight, for once, I let the silence settle naturally around me, without trying to outrun it first. Softly, the wind moved through the fields. I've been holding too tightly to a feeling worn and thin, like a door left half open to the hurt that wandered in. Now the silence feels kinder, now the air begins to ease. What was knotted in the dark starts to loosen quietly. Unwind in me, slow and tender. Unwind in me till I remember how to be still, how to be free. All that was heavy, unwind in me. I don't need a sudden answer, I don't need to force the light. There is healing in the softening, there is mercy in tonight. Every breath becomes a little more forgiving than before. Like my heart has found a rhythm, it can finally rest inside. If the old pain tries to linger, I will let it pass on through. I'm not the fear I carried, I am something warm and true. Unwind in me, slow and tender. Unwind in me till I remember how to let go, how to believe. All that was restless, unwind in me. Unwind in me. Settle in peace. I come back to this familiar sound, the gentle rhythm my heart has found, the quiet tapping beneath my hand tells me I'm home, right where I stand. This is the rhythm I know, steady and slow, letting me go. It holds me close without a word, the kindest sound I've ever heard. When the day has taken all I had, this simple beat helps me feel less sad. Each tap reminds me I am still here, still breathing, still worthy, still dear. This is the rhythm I know, steady and slow, letting me go. It holds me close without a every tap becomes a quiet prayer, saying I'm safe, saying I'm there. This is the rhythm I know, the one that never asks me to be more. It simply taps and lets me be. This is the rhythm that comforts me. You don't have to search anymore. You don't have to walk through another door. Everything you've been looking for has been waiting right here all along. You are already home. You are already home. Even with the cracks, even with the holes, you are already home, my love. The tired eyes, the heavy hands, the quiet ache nobody understands. They don't need fixing, they just need to know they've always been worthy of this gentle glow. You are already home. You are already home. Even with the cracks, even with the holes, you are already home, my love. So lay your head down, close your eyes, let this truth become your lullaby. You are already home. You are already whole. Let every broken piece feel loved and known. You are already home. You never left at all. There's a string I cannot see that ties my heart so quietly. It pulls me gently when I stray, and leads me back to where I need to stay. This invisible string keeps holding on, even when I feel that I am gone. It never breaks, it never pulls too tight, just whispers, come back home tonight. I've wandered down so many roads, carried burdens and heavy loads, but every time I lose my way, this unseen string still finds a way. This invisible string keeps holding on, even when I feel that I am gone. It never breaks, it never pulls too tight, just whispers, come back home tonight. And in the darkest hour I've known, I feel it tug, and I am not alone. This invisible string keeps holding on through every ending, every dawn. It brings me back where I belong. This invisible string is where I've always been. Between each breath, there is a space where all the noise can be erased. I linger there for just a while and let the stillness wear a smile. In the space between breaths, I find my home. No need to wander, no need to roam. Everything I am is welcomed here. In the space between breaths, I disappear. Rushing world can wait outside while I sit here with arms open wide. My tired soul lays gently down and finds its peace without a sound. In the space between breaths, I find my home. No need to wander, no need to roam. Everything I am is welcomed here. In the space between breaths, I disappear. And here here. In the space between breaths, I am whole, I am known. Nothing left to carry, nothing left to own, just this space between breaths. Breaths. I sit here with this wooden sound, a gentle tapping turning round and round, each quiet knock against the grain reminds me I am safe again. In this simple beat, I find my peace, a steady rhythm that puts my mind at ease. No fancy words, no need to explain, just this warm and honest refrain. When my thoughts are scattered far and wide, this even tapping brings me back inside. It tells me softly, without any haste, I am worthy of this space. In this simple beat, I find my peace, a steady rhythm that puts my mind at ease. No fancy words, no need to explain, just this warm and honest refrain. Tap by tap, the worries start to fade, leaving only what my heart has made. In this simple beat, I find my peace, the kindest comfort that will never cease. Here I am held, here I am free, in this simple beat. It's home to me. For a long time, I confused numbness with peace, because emptiness felt easier than carrying every feeling fully. I sat through whole conversations without really being inside them, like my heart had gone somewhere far away and forgotten the road back. Then came the first night. I didn't feel numb anymore, not healed, not happy, just suddenly able to feel life touching me again. And strangely, that hurt less than the emptiness had, like my heart finally waking up after sleeping too long beneath the weight of everything. I started noticing little things again, the warmth hidden in familiar voices, the way music lingered afterward instead of passing straight through me. There were still evenings that felt heavy, still moments I folded inward, but the feeling moved differently now, less like drowning, more like rain passing through. Yes, the first night I didn't feel numb anymore. The sadness still reached me, but it no longer arrived alone. There was something soft around it now, something my body no longer feared completely, like I had finally stopped expecting every feeling to ruin me. I thought healing meant becoming lighter, but maybe healing begins here, the moment your heart starts answering the world again. That was the first night I didn't feel numb anymore. The ache still lives quietly somewhere inside me, but it no longer disconnects me from myself. And tonight, for once, I let every feeling rise naturally, without trying to shut it back down. Softly, my heart stayed awake, even after the feeling passed. I can feel my heart grow lighter than it used to in the dark. What was trembling in my body doesn't hit me quite as hard. There is calm inside the stillness. There is warmth beneath the strain. Something kind is settling in me, like soft color after rain. Sunstone in my silence, warm and low, finding all the hidden places every tired part within me lets the healing through. I don't need to rush tomorrow. I don't need to force the light. There is comfort in the breathing. There is shelter in tonight. What was heavy starts to loosen. What was closed begins to bend. Love can reach the quiet corners and make them bright again. If the old ache finds me later, I will breathe and let it pass. I have learned that tender healing can be strong enough to last. Sunstone in my silence, soft and deep. A little more of peace each day I get to keep. Sunstone in my silence, bright and new. Every broken thread within me finds a gentler way through. I was waiting for a change I could not explain at all. Just a softer way of living after holding through the fall. Then a quiet light came near me, not in waves, not all at once, just a calm that kept on breathing till my guarded heart unlocked. Opal through the stillness, soft and clear, a little more of healing finding me right here. Opal through the stillness, warm and true. Every shaded part of me lets a little light come through. I don't need to force tomorrow. I don't need to outrun pain. There is mercy in the slowing. There is meaning in the rain. What was heavy starts to loosen. What was tired starts to wake. Love can move in patient colors for a tender heart to take. If If the old ache brushes by me, I will breathe and let it pass. I have learned the deepest comfort does not always have to last. It just needs to leave a kindness, it just needs to leave a trace, so the soul can keep on turning toward a softer kind of grace. Oh, pull through the stillness, soft and wide, a little more of living opening inside. Oh, pull through the stillness, steady as the truth. Every broken part of me finds a gentler way to move. This old heart of mine has traveled far, carried every joy and every scar. But tonight it beats so soft and true, like it's finally come back home to you. This old heart of mine just wants to rest in gentle time. No need to prove, no need to shine. It's safe and warm right here inside. It used to ache when nights were long, but now it sings its own quiet song, a softer rhythm, a kinder beat, holding me so tenderly and sweet. This old heart of mine just wants to rest in gentle time. No need to prove, no need to shine. It's safe and warm right here inside. And I whisper softly, thank you, dear, for staying with me all these years. This old heart of mine has loved me through the darkest night. Tonight I hold it close and tight. This old heart of mine feels warm and right. used to keep the television on just to avoid hearing my own thoughts. Anything felt easier than sitting still with whatever lived inside my chest. Some nights I drove for no real reason, just to make the hours move faster. But loneliness always rode beside me, quiet as breathing. Then I let the night pass through me without trying to outrun it. And for the first time in so long, my heart loosened a little in the dark. No answers, no sudden change, just the feeling of finally getting tired of carrying every sadness alone. There are still evenings where missing you arrives unexpectedly, like hearing a song too softly to turn away from completely. But it doesn't undo me now the way it once could. The pain moves slower these days, more like weather than a wound. So I let the night pass through me like cold air through open windows, not resisting, not collapsing, just letting myself feel what was there. And somewhere inside all that stillness, the heaviness began loosening quietly, like my soul finally understood it didn't have to survive everything at once. Maybe peace begins this way, the moment you stop asking your heart to heal faster than it can. Now I let the night pass through me, and it no longer empties me completely. The sadness still visits sometimes, but it sits beside me more gently now. And for the first time in years, I don't need to force myself to feel okay, to believe I'll make it through another night. Softly, the night moved through me, and I stayed open. I used to hold the sorrow like it had a right to stay, like every tender part of me was made to bear the weight. But something in the silence began to turn and break. A softer kind of mercy brought ivory through the ache, ivory through the ache, quiet and slow, not a flash of lightning, just a gentle glow. can feel the tightness easing. I can feel the fear grow thin. There is peace inside the breathing. There is room to live again. What once felt too sharp to carry and now moves lighter when it wakes. Love can come in patient colors, like ivory through the ache. If the old pain rises in me, I won't hand it all my name. I have learned that healing sometimes looks like softness without shame. I breathe through the ache, warm and clear and true. A little more of life returns in everything I do. I breathe through the ache, steady as a flame. What was torn and tired in me will not stay the same. I don't need the answers anymore. I just need to sit here on the floor with all the pieces scattered round my feet, and let them rest a while with me. It's warm enough right here, right now, even with the cracks, even with the doubt. I don't have to be strong, I don't have to try. It's warm enough just being alive. The girl who used to fight so hard is learning how to drop her guard. She's tired of carrying what she can't control. So tonight she's giving up the load. It's warm enough right here, right now, even with the cracks, even with the doubt. I don't have to be strong, I don't have to try. It's warm enough just being alive. And if the cold tries to creep back in, I'll wrap these arms around myself again. It's warm enough right here, right now. The quiet holds me, shows me how. Nothing left to prove, nothing left to hide. felt the old ache fading, like a shadow losing form. Not all at once, not all at once, but softer than before. There was warmth inside the silence, there was calm I did not see, a tender kind of mercy laying gold across me. Saffron in the slow air, soft against my skin. A quiet light is turning where the dark had been. Saffron in the slow air, warm and passing through. Every tired part of me begins to open too. I don't need to force it, I don't need to know why the heart grows lighter when it lets go slow. There is peace in being honest, there is grace in being worn, there is love that keeps arriving in a shape so warm. If tomorrow brings the old weight, I will not fall apart. I have learned that gentle healing knows the way back to the heart. Saffron in the slow air, clear and calm and deep. A little more of living wakes inside of me. Saffron in the slow air, soft and staying true. Every broken thread of me finds its way back through. I didn't realize how tense I'd become until one afternoon. My shoulders loosened suddenly without me asking them to, like my body had been carrying something long after it ended, holding every hard season deep beneath the surface of my skin. That was when my body finally exhaled, not dramatically, not all at once, just one breath softer than the ones before it. And suddenly the world stopped feeling so sharp around me, like stepping outside barefoot after years of walking carefully. There are still days my heartbeat rushes ahead of my thoughts. Still moments I tighten my jaw. Before I notice, I'm afraid again. But I soften faster now. I return to myself sooner. The fear still visits sometimes, but it no longer settles into my muscles. Yes, that was when my body finally exhaled. The heaviness loosened quietly, not gone, not erased, just no longer stitched into every movement. And every piece of grief inside me feels lighter beneath my skin now, like dust floating slowly through sunlight after the room finally grows still. I thought healing would happen in my thoughts first, but it began somewhere deeper. The moment my body realized it didn't need to stay braced anymore, that was when my body finally exhaled. The ache still reaches me certain nights, but it no longer curls tightly inside my chest the way it once did. And tonight, for once, I let my whole body rest naturally, without waiting for the next hurt to arrive. Softly, my breathing slowed, and my hands stayed open. The house is quiet, the day is done. I sit here talking to no one, just me and all these thoughts I've known, turning slowly into something of my own. Slow breath, that's all I need tonight. One slow breath to make the heavy feel light. No hurry, no worry, no place to be. Just one slow breath, and it's enough for me. Till my worries, they can stay, but they don't have to have their way. I let them sit here by my side, like tired friends who no longer need to hide. Slow breath, that's all I need tonight. One slow breath to make the heavy feel light. No hurry, no worry, no place to be. Just one this gentle friend. One slow breath, that's all I need tonight. One slow breath to set my spirit right. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. Just one slow breath, and I let it all go. When the noise of living fades away, I find my way back to this quiet space where nothing asks me who I have to be, just the simple grace of being me. This is the room I return to when the weight becomes too much to carry through. A place where every part of me is welcomed home. No questions asked, no need to prove. Here the tired heart can lay its load. The hidden fears can finally unfold. I sit among the pieces I once tried to hide, and feel them soften in the warmest light. This is the room I return to when the weight becomes too much to carry through. A place where every part of me is welcomed home. No questions asked, no need to prove. And in this stillness I begin to see the kindest version of myself, looking back at me. This is the room I return to, the safest harbor I have ever known. Here I am enough, here I am whole. This is the room I return to. I used to wake up heavy before the day even began, like my heart was already tired of carrying everything again. Now Now the mornings reach me softer, not easier, just less sharp somehow. Like the grief finally loosened its hands around me. Somewhere after the sadness, I found a quieter way to live. Not happier, not untouched, just gentler with myself at night. And all the love that once felt painful settled differently with time, like tears drying slowly on your face after nobody else is awake. Your memory still appears sometimes in small unguarded moments, but it no longer empties the room inside me the way it once did. I stopped asking old feelings to leave all at once, and little by little my heart stopped fearing their return. Somewhere after the sadness, the silence changed its shape. Not lonely, not endless, just quieter than before. And every piece of grief I carried feels lighter in my chest now, like something finally setting down after traveling too far alone. Maybe peace isn't something sudden, maybe it's just this: the moment your heart stops bracing for pain every day. Somewhere after the sadness, I learned how to stay with myself again. The ache still lives somewhere inside me, but it no longer speaks for everything. And tonight, for the first time in years, I let the feeling pass through me without turning away from it. Softly, the hurt lost its grip, and I stayed. I can feel my shoulders soften. I can feel the strain grow thin. What was living like a shadow doesn't have to live within. There is calm inside the silence. There is warmth I didn't see. Not a sudden kind of rescue, just a gentler way to be. Sage in my breathing, slow and clean, turning all the restless places into something soft and green. Sage in my breathing, every tired part of my heart lets the healing through. I don't need to chase tomorrow. I don't need to outrun pain. There is mercy in the quiet. There is sunlight after rain. What was heavy starts to loosen. What was locked begins to move. Love can find the hidden places and teach them how to bloom. If the old day comes around me, I will breathe and let it pass. I have learned that tender healing can be strong enough to last. Sage in my breathing, clear and deep, a little more peace I get to keep. Sage in my breathing, soft and bright and new. Every broken part inside me finds a kinder way through. I don't hide my sadness the way I once did. I let it move through the room now without apologizing for it. Some mornings still feel heavy before anything even happens, like my body wakes up remembering what my mind already laid down. Some parts of me are still healing, still tender when the world gets too close, still startled by certain feelings I thought I had already outgrown. But I've become kinder to myself lately, in small invisible ways. And maybe that's why breathing feels easier than it used to. There are evenings I still go quiet for reasons I can't fully explain. But I no longer panic when old hurt brushes against me. I stop forcing every feeling to become something meaningful. And somewhere inside that surrender, the heaviness began thinning out. Some parts of me are still healing, still learning how to trust calm moments, still carrying old sorrow carefully without And every piece of grief inside me feels softer against my skin now, like faraway thunder fading slowly beyond the edge of the hills. I used to think healing meant never hurting again. Now I think it means this: the pain arrives sometimes, and I don't abandon myself because of it. Some parts of me are still healing. The ache still reaches me certain nights, but it no longer changes the shape of who I am. By the time morning comes, and tonight, for once, I let myself remain unfinished, without mistaking that for brokenness. Softly, the feeling passed through me, and I stayed open. For a while I felt faded, like my soul had gone to sleep, like the light had stepped back softly, running silent under me. I was moving without knowing if the warmth would ever stay. Then a little change came over what had slowly slipped away. Color comes back slow, soft as morning on the skin. Color comes back slow, where the ache had always been. Not all at once, not in a rush, just enough to let me know. Color comes back slow. I can feel a gentle stirring in the parts I kept turned down. Not a flood and not a fire, just a calm I have found. Every breath feels a little kinder, every thought a little less cold. What was quiet for so long now starts to open, starts to glow. Maybe healing isn't thunder, maybe healing speaks this way, in a hush and steady mercy, in a love that learns to stay. Color comes back slow, soft as morning in the heart. Color comes back slow, right where I had come apart. Not all at once, not to be known, just enough to lead me home. Color comes back slow. Comes back slow.